North, and then boom, we talk about these quarterbacks being healthy, and Burrow turns around with the calf strain yesterday, and that was a story of the day because think about it, he's in line for a monster contract. I'll get into the numbers in a moment with you, Lloyd, but man, that would have totally changed the complexion of the NFL, the AFC, and certainly that division if he's out for an extended period of time.
Immediately I started seeing all the tweets and these Bengals fans that were really afraid about what was going on with Burrow, and it didn't look good when they carted him off. But
Yeah.
ends up being a calf strain. Hopefully, it's nothing that's going to linger, and the team can continue. And you talk about a preview. Cincinnati, they won this division last couple of years, so you have to put them in number one in this division. But it's going to be interesting to see how they grow from this. Obviously, they're at Cleveland week one, and then they have Baltimore. So, these are two divisional games right off the bat, and they need their starting quarterback.
Yeah, think about this contract, right? 4 years, 36 million, 23 million signing bonus. 2021, he's recovering from that torn ACL and MCL in his left knee, ended his rookie season in 2020, had the ruptured appendix, right? You're still looking at Higgins, Jamar Chase, those extensions on their rookie deals. Now, Higgins is going to be eligible for a new deal. Can't talk. I should say Chase can't talk until his third season ends, which is this season ultimately. But think about these numbers: 168 catches, 2,500 yards, 22 touchdowns. Point being, if you're Joe Burrow, you need all these players on the field, the offense. Burrow is going to get paid. And the reason I bring it up is because what happens prior to yesterday's incident, Justin Herbert signs that monster contract, highest paid player in NFL history. So by that contract being signed, Burrow now, you've got your talking point, so to speak. I mean, you're talking 262.5 over 5 years. I pulled these numbers. 133.7 million is fully guaranteed. 193 million is an injury guaranteed. And then out of that total of 262, 218 million guaranteed. I mean, it's broken down as I kind of mentioned it, but if you're Burrow, you're like, damn, that's a lot of friggin' coin. And if you're Justin Herbert, you realize that the Chargers now, he is that face of that franchise going forward with that monster contract.
Yes, Q, and you're seeing these young quarterbacks get their money, and we talked about them being a marquee position, and teams are going to build around these quarterbacks, and they're their guys. And you saw Jalen Hurts get his contract. Now you talk about Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow is going to be next. I saw some guys joking that he shouldn't even step foot on a training camp or a preseason
Agreed.
game. You know, uh, you have to wonder if you're him. That's a lot of money. It's his future, and you don't want to risk a situation where he gets hurt and then the whole
Yeah.
dynamic of his career arc changes. So, these young guys are going to build their team around them, we know the salary cap went up this year, but they're taking up a huge chunk of their team's cap, so they're going to be the number one priority. And you talk about the Bengals. Their receiving core is just spectacular. They had 25 touchdowns last year, the most in the NFL out of all the receivers. And they've got a variety of guys to spread the ball around too. So hopefully Joe Burrow gets healthy and he's able to move forward. But it's going to be interesting to see how this thing turns out.
You think he'll match the numbers that we just see with Justin Herbert? I mean, think about the contracts. Jalen Hurts with his contract, Herbert now. I mean, it's astronomical. You're talking about faces of the franchise. You're talking about all pro level MVP caliber, perennial MVP candidates in these quarterbacks. I mean, my goodness, absolutely, it's crazy. I mean, I think if I look at I guess the ascending quarterbacks, right? I mean, Burrow and Justin Herbert, they're right there. You can't go wrong with those two. I mean, Hurts is obviously, or we can get into that conversation down the road, but the point is, you're seeing the money now being spent because the quarterback position, it's the premier position in all the sports. I don't care what anyone tells me. They touch the ball. They're under center. They're the face of the franchise. And if you're Cincinnati, you're right. To your point, if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm not stepping on that field until I get a deal done. Now, he turned around and said, I'm going to have patience with it. But I think that's just, player speak.
Yeah. I'm sure his agent was telling him, look, don't push it. We got to get this deal done. And it's crazy, Q. We're talking about quarterbacks getting $45-50 million a season. And it all started a lot with two guys who you wondered, did they really deserve it? Deshaun Watson coming off his mess in Houston. He didn't have a great season last season. And then, the big elephant in the room, Kyler Murray. He got that huge
Yep.
contract. His knee's all messed up. I'm already hearing that he may not be on the same page with Gannon's new staff that's there. And once you sign these big contracts, you are stuck with these
Yeah.
quarterbacks, and that could be, it could be a big sticking point going forward for a team.
Yeah. And conversely, the position that's not getting paid is the running back position. Saquon Barkley had the epiphany. Yeah. The epiphany was get your ass in camp, sign your 1 year deal for 10